Hello students, today we're going to understand a very important topic from your Class 10 Civics syllabus, women and political representation.
Okay, so here's our plan. We'll start with what democracy promises us. Then, we'll look at the history of inequality, the fight for equality, and where India stands today. After that, we'll talk about how we can fix this imbalance, and finally, why all of this is so important for our future.
All right, so let's begin by reminding ourselves what democracy is all about. You see, democracy is based on this beautiful idea of equality and participation for everyone. But we must ask ourselves a very serious question. In our country, does everyone really have an equal voice in the decisions that are made?
To answer that, it's very important to understand what political representation means. Basically, it's the process that makes sure the concerns, the problems, and the experiences of all the different groups in our society are heard and included when the government makes its decisions.
Now let's explore the historical reasons for this low participation of women in politics. Why were they left behind for so long?
A key reason for this inequality is a social system called patriarchy. Now, this is a very important term for your exams. It's a system that values men more and gives them power over women. For a very, very long time, this was just how most societies worked.
This patriarchal system created several barriers. For example, the idea of a sexual division of labor. This fixed idea that a woman's main role is inside the home, taking care of housework and children. This also meant that girls got very limited educational opportunities, and society created all these stereotypes about what women should and shouldn't do.
And this image, it illustrates so brilliantly the kind of pressure women face. They are expected to fit into so many different roles, often at the same time. This makes it incredibly difficult for them to even think about entering public life.
So how did this situation begin to change? Well, women and men organized and raised their voices.
These women and men organized themselves into movements to demand equality. These are called feminist movements. Now, the word feminist is often misunderstood, but its meaning is actually very simple and important. A feminist is any person, a woman or a man, who believes in equal rights and opportunities for women and men.
And in these feminist movements came to a very important conclusion. They realized that for women's problems to be solved, women must be in positions of power themselves.
And it's thanks to these long, hard struggles that women today are working as scientists, doctors, engineers, and teachers. Professions that were once considered completely unsuitable for them. So, having seen the history, let us now look at the situation in India today.
In India, the proportion of women in our national legislature has been very low. It only just touched 14.36% for the first time in 2019. Now, that might be the highest it's ever been, but it's still a very small number.
Now, what's really interesting is when we compare this globally. As you can see from this data, India is behind the world average and also behind many other developing nations. And if we look at the state level, the situation is even more serious. The representation there falls to less than 5%.
So, the crucial point is, what can be done to solve this problem of underrepresentation?
One solution is reservation. Now, this can be understood with a simple analogy. Imagine a race where some runners have been held back for a very long time. To make the competition fair, we have to give them some support to help them catch up, right? Reservation works on a similar idea for groups that have been historically disadvantaged.
In India, this solution has already been applied very successfully at the local level through something called the Panchayati Raj system. Here, 1/3 of the seats in local government bodies, like panchayats and municipalities, are reserved for women.
And the impact has been huge. This has brought more than 10 lakh women into political decision-making in our villages and towns. That's a massive number.
Now, building on this success, a new law was passed in 2023 to apply this same idea of reservation to our national and state legislatures.
So, finally, let us understand why having more women in politics is so important for our democracy. The crucial takeaway is this. Women's political participation is not just about fairness. It actually makes our entire democracy stronger and more effective for everyone.
As we end this explainer, I want you to think about this question. Can a democracy be truly representative, truly for the people, without the equal participation of all its people? Think about what true equality in a democracy really means.